Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I'm the creator of Flower of Healing Reiki, unifying holistic health and spiritual awakening. In this video, I would like to share with you about remote Reiki sessions, receiving a remote distant Reiki session, what that is, what it's like, my experience. It is Reiki for the busy person that doesn't have time for themselves, because you do have time for yourself. You just got to figure out how. So, what is a remote distant Reiki session? What is that? What does that even mean? Well, a distant Reiki session is when a person receives Reiki at a distance. So, like this on a YouTube video, or using Zoom in a one-on-one session, using Zoom in a class, using some other audio, video platform at a distance, two people, one person sending, another person receiving Reiki. Distant Reiki also can happen just on the phone. You call someone, they stay on the line. One person is giving Reiki, sending Reiki, another person is receiving Reiki. Then there is remote distance Reiki. This is really, really cool because Reiki can be sent and received to a specific individual, like from me to you. And we're not on Zoom, we're not on some audio video platform, we're not even on the phone together, we're not even texting. It's like completely remote, where I am sending, you are receiving. This is a wonderful option for super busy people who literally don't have 5 minutes in the day, or maybe hardly have 5 minutes in the day for themselves to receive a Reiki session. Distant Reiki works because Reiki energy is a non-local, infinite energy that can directly go to you and your biofield. It's not coming through me to you. I am simply inviting Reiki, and Reiki flows through me for me as I'm sending, and Reiki directly is received by you or the person receiving the distant Reiki session. And usually for the human end, for having some time to connect and intention setting and using specific techniques and, having more of a perception of it, distant Reiki sessions facilitate all of that, particularly with audio, whether on a phone or on a video audio platform such as Zoom. And those sessions work fabulously well because the energy will go directly to the other person. It's not, there are misconceptions. I know a lot of times when I tell people, I do all my sessions online, they're like, what? I thought Reiki, you had to be touching. That is not at all. That is not at all the case at all. I find that I prefer distant Reiki sessions, and the results are even better at a distance because it allows the practitioner to be less involved. The healing benefits of Reiki are not coming from, super gifted like healer practitioners. It's coming directly from the energy itself, the infinite source of the Reiki energy. So remote distant Reiki sessions work in exactly the same way, and they actually take the human element, the practitioner element out of it even further, where there's no need to be interfacing and exchanging the Reiki energy, receiving the Reiki energy, both of us at the same time. I didn't have much experience with remote Reiki in my first few years practicing Reiki. I did send Reiki remotely a few times when a person was in extreme need and could not be on the phone, could not be on a Zoom video, it was not like that kind of situation. The reports on the other side were that, wow, I feel so different. I feel so much better. I received it, I fell asleep, woke up the next day, was a lot better. Having really good results like that. And I was like, oh, that's cool. This works really well. And it allowed me to do the session on my end completely independently, and the other person to receive it when they were able to, when they were able to go to bed, when they were able to get comfortable and really enjoy the energy and receive all the healing benefits. But I never received a full distant Reiki session remotely myself. So I didn't really have the experience of it until recently. I have been receiving remote distant Reiki sessions from another practitioner, and they have been fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. The other practitioner is traveling and we're unable to meet on Zoom and exchange the distant Reiki in real time. So this is a solution we've come up with. And I've received Reiki from this person in real time, knowing she was like, I'm going to do it at about this time. So I made space to receive it around that time. But I've even received it not at the same time that she was sending. And I've been sending it not at the same time as she's been receiving it. And the results have been incredible on both ends. So, I will, just disclaimer, it does make you kind of expand your perception of space and time and how all of this works. But Reiki is a multidimensional energy. So, and it operates based on free will. So if I do a session right now, give a session, say 10:30 a.m. on Monday, and the recipient can choose when to receive that session. Let's say they choose to receive that session at 9 p.m. their local time, so that they're able to, have already gotten ready for bed and be in bed and then fall asleep. It works. It works. It works. It works. It works really well. I've been stunned by the results, absolutely blown away by the results, so much so I've started offering this as an option, because there are so many people who, are barely squeaking by in their day, barely having enough time for, the really, really essential habits, and yet still want the healing energy, still want the empowerment, still want the expanded states of awareness, still want the benefits. And this is that option. Remote distant Reiki sessions are the option. They fulfill that need. They work. They're just as effective as distant Reiki sessions, which are just as effective as in-person Reiki sessions. And with the remote distant Reiki, it's such a wonderful option, because most people, I won't say everybody, but most people are sleeping at night. That's a given time where you're not going to be doing other things and you can receive. In fact, that would be probably one of the best times to receive, because you're completely open, and your conscious mind is out of the way and you're already there, you're already relaxed. So to receive a remote distant Reiki session in that time, just as you're falling asleep, and into the, you can intend for it to happen all night long. This is wonderful. This is wonderful. And the consistent experience with this particular way of receiving remote distant Reiki is waking up the next day feeling different, feeling revitalized, feeling rejuvenated, feeling fresh, feeling like, clear, completely clear, clean slate, clear slate, energized, inspired. good vibes, less pain, whatever physical symptoms might be there, mental symptoms, mood not being so great, all of these types of things being greatly benefited. So I did include this now as a service on my website, taylornorrisreiki.com. If you are one of these people who does not have enough time for yourself, and you want to receive Reiki, so you don't have enough time, but you still want to receive Reiki, this is the way to go. This is a great way to give it a try for the first time. And then later you can decide if you want to do, a distant Reiki session. And later you can have the experience of receiving a distant Reiki session and maybe having more of a perception of it. But even receiving a remote distance Reiki session, if you lay down and receive at a time where, it's not right before bed, you can have a really amazing perception of the session, receiving the session that way as well. So it's not to say you only have to receive remote distant Reiki right before bed when you're going to fall asleep anyway. You can receive it anytime. And receiving it, if you do fall asleep during Reiki, this is not something to be disappointed by at all. Reiki will often knock me asleep, and it does this with many of us who we need the rest. We need the rest. We need the very deep state, the deep healing, the deep empowerment, getting to those core issues, getting to the subconscious issues, getting to the ancestral issues, getting to the deepest aspects of self and soul and spirit and being. So falling asleep, this is great. That happens. This is wonderful. Any time of day, you could be receiving a session at high noon and you fall asleep, and this is wonderful. Any Reiki experience is a blessing. It really is. So no judgment on the experiences. They're all valuable. Let me know below in the comments, have you received a remote distant Reiki session? Have you received a remote healing session? What was your experience? I would love to know. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, check out my website if you're interested in a remote session or a distant Reiki session. Much love to you. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo. Whoa. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo. Aho, amen, namaste, mahalo. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.